In this moment, the present is your chief concern. It will be painful, but it always is. When many grieve as one, it may hurt less.
I've never seen the Naiads this crowded.
Me neither.
Laszlo was loved by all of us.
Hi.
Hi.
So many people.
He was loved.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
Polly, I have something to ask you. But not now. After the ceremony. If that's all right.
Sure. We'll talk after.
These things are always horrible. Sorry, I don't mean to bring down the mood.
It's fine. It really can't get much lower. Are you okay?
It's just brings back a lot of memories, you know. Not my first rodeo.
Hey, take it easy. No one's judging.
Look, the nibbles have run out over by his flower beds. I should probably...
Mum,
Everything has to be perfect. These people need... I want them to remember this as perfect.
everything okay?
Me? Yeah. Are you okay?
I haven't really thought about it, no.
That was... It was a stupid question. So...
No, it helps. Really. It's the thought that counts and all that.
Yeah. I never told you about my mum, did I?
I don't think so.
Died when I was small. Dad and my sisters. They're the ones who raised me.
I'm sorry.
I suppose I'm trying to say... I know what it's like. That feeling. The idea of it, anyway. It hits different for everyone. But I know the emptiness at the heart of it. Having your family and friends around you like this, it's the way to go. Sharing the load makes things easier, more bearable. I'm just sorry I couldn't be here before now.
The finality of it is overwhelming. I thought maybe having felt another kind of loss would steel me against the inevitable, but it doesn't. It hasn't. I feel everything and nothing all at once.
Grief like this is impossible to get a hold on. All the if-onlys and I wishes aimed at nothing. I mean, look at all this. Everyone here to say goodbye. They can't, of course. Goodbye is a shared sentiment. Death is a severing, not a goodbye.
And you said you didn't like poetry.
I guess death brings it out of me. Time gives you perspective, at least. A chance to see the missing piece of the puzzle.
And a chance to fill in the holes with the memories of what you lost.
Yeah, I'm going to go check on Laura.
Thank you, Omar. I'm not quite sure what to do with her. How to be a mother again. I wasn't very good the first time around.
Get yourself a drink. And sit, for goodness sake, before your speech.
Perhaps for just a moment. Thank you all for coming here today. I can't speak for my family, but I know the sight of you gathered here has done me a world of good. So, Laszlo. Laszlo was my partner. Laszlo was a parent. Laszlo was the cornerstone of a community. Our community. And he is gone.
Well, I was wondering when this would come up. The whole you help us, we don't help you thing. I mean, you're right, of course.
Really?
Objectively, we aspirations do get rather lost in our own little world sometimes. No pun intended. But you've done right by us, repeatedly. And for that, yes, it's only right that I volunteer my aid. Whatever the futures bring, I'll be here, by your side.
Don't make a big thing of it.
Bye.
Didn't you hear?
No, I was away.
You were in... Never mind. Listen, Ursula just told everyone. Alma, the whole community. They've launched a class action lawsuit against MK.
What?
Yeah, it was her idea. It might even help the Prescients. Her way of apologizing, I guess.
The situation pivots once more.
I certainly didn't expect this. Not at all. It's not like my mother to be so community-minded.
Death is the ultimate clarifier. Your mother has changed. The question now is, will you change along with her?
Quite the speech.
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't let you in on the secret earlier, but, well, I didn't want to take anything away from all this.
Laszlo will be proud.
You think so?
I know so. The last thing he'd have wanted is his death distracting us from the real goal.
The real goal. I've wondered about that. What it actually is.
The end of MK. The freeing of Athena and the unification of Reverie, I suppose.
Hardly much to ask for, is it?
You okay?
I should be asking you that.
I'm fine.
Come on.
Every morning I wake up with the world's worst headache, and I still can't hear out of my right ear.
Nora.
Small price to pay for, stopping MK. For now.
I wish I had a family.
You do? Us?
Yeah, but not really, though. When's the last time you made me a cup of tea?
You have never asked for a cup of tea.
All right, then. Make me a cup of tea.
No.
See? Still. Don't you go worrying about this lot. We'll make sure they're safe.
Really?
To the extent we can. We will watch over you and your loved ones. For now, the Naiads are safe.
Protect my family from MK's lies.
We're on it. Go ahead and take a load off while you still can, Harmony.
Whatever is to come, you must approach it with a clear mind and fresh eyes.
Don't worry. We're on your side.
And you always have been, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Centuries. Even before, perhaps.
This is it, and I can't do it alone. Wow. It's already so hot. Oh, come on. All right. Let's do this.
What about the bar?
What about it?
It's, must be worth something.
Less than you'd think. He built that place himself out of cocktail sticks and willpower. And the idea of selling it is, to me, quite infuriating.
I didn't mean to.
I know. But Nora can't hear about this. It would turn her rather feral, I'm afraid.
All right. Noted. So, are we thinking of accepting MK's offer?
There's an old Oxyon saying my mother used to quote, "The hand that strikes cannot be the hand that feeds." They can't just smash things up, throw money at us, and expect everyone to forgive and forget. What sort of precedent would that be setting?
That's a lot of money to leave on the table for the sake of principle.
Sometimes you've got to take the risk. When did anyone manage to change things? Really change things without taking a few risks? Someone has to stand firm. Draw the line. Stop the charade.
There's no way this offer is on the level. There'll be traps, loopholes, tripwires.
Maybe they're traps we can turn back on the hunter, though. Something we can use to turn the tide.
Maybe. I'm not a lawyer, and neither are you.
I doubt they're bluffing about the money, at least. They have enough of it.
Perhaps.
Either you find a solution, Polyhymnia, or my hand will be forced. I don't like the thought of accepting their proposal any more than you do, but there are too many things depending on us right now.
So tired. Those MK loudmouths over there, don't they ever sleep? Anyway, what's up? Right, school.
Yeah.
I'd almost forgotten about it, you know, after Grandpa... Well, after. I don't know what to say to you, Polly. That place changes lives. I sort of hoped it'd change mine.
Do they do scholarships? Bursaries for students from certain backgrounds?
Not that I know of. What if we found a way to incriminate MK even more? They'd probably cut us a bigger check.
Leverage. Huh. Maybe.
What do we have? What can we use against MK?
Right now, nothing solid. Besides the stuff we already know. Jade's work. It's no secret MK's sucking the life out of Atina, but they run a pretty tight ship. I guess that's exploitative capitalism 101. Burn the receipts.
Is that something you consider?
Oh, absolutely.
That, and doubling down on the outrage about the shit my investigation uncovered. That might do something. Absolutely. I went down to the city archives a while back and found a whole bunch of old lawsuits lodged against them. Most went nowhere, but some. Yeah, the courts imposed real sanctions on MK for some. We're not the first people they've tried to roll over.
Well then, they could give us some advice, at least. If they're motivated enough to mount their own lawsuits, they might be motivated enough to help others in the same situation.
They'd be throwing themselves back into the fire, though.
True. Yeah.
There's kind of a network. Old MK employees. People they wronged who clawed themselves into positions of power. That kind of thing. That's how I did my work. Finding them and gaining their trust.
Could they help?
Yes. And no. Right now, MK Security will be going over every possible pipeline with a fine-toothed comb, looking for leaks. If the network exposes itself, well, game over.
I might know a guy.
A guy?
On the inside, with access to some potentially juicy material.
Well, there we go. Problem solved.
It's not quite as easy as that. He was a good friend, but, well, this is asking a lot. It's a big risk for him. If I ask him to do this, he probably will, but that'll be the last favor he'll do me. Friendship over. And I don't even know if he'd do it, or if he'd go straight to MK Security.
Does this have anything to do with you?
I'll keep fighting, whatever happens. They're not asking me to sign anything.
I'm most certainly in this for the long haul.
MK is not my biggest fan right now. They're throwing around terms like associating with terrorists and destruction of property and legal ramifications. So, I'm just hanging in there with the rest of you.
You hesitated, Polyhymnia. Someone had to act. I accepted on behalf of the Naiads.
You accepted the offer without consulting anyone? You consulted everyone but me.
I did what I thought was best.
We need this money. We need it badly. And we need it now.
Now what?
Now more than ever, we must not let our guard down.
You look tired.
Brilliant deduction.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I wanted to talk. And since we don't know what's coming, I'd like to do it now. After what happened, and I know now isn't the best time, and I hate that it sounds so cliché, but, I like you, Polly. We can leave that kiss on the beach if you want to, but if not, I'd love to kiss you again, now. The rest can wait until morning. Up to you.
If anything happens, will you be here in the morning?
This time, with you, I might be. Going somewhere?
I wish I could stay, but I have to visit Reverie.
Stay then. They'll be there tomorrow.
I really do have to go.
All right. As long as you come back.
How are you feeling?
To be honest, horrible. Drained. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I have to keep going.
think now is a good time to try boosting morale. Right before battles, great leaders often tell stories or make influential speeches.
I'm not a leader. And definitely not a great one.
May I remind you that you're the only one in touch with Reverie? Your scope of action is much larger than everyone else's. I don't doubt that it's uncomfortable, but people look to you for a reason. It's about the darkest days of Athena, a time when the Oxyon civilization was on the brink of collapse. I think we should try sharing it with people.
There was a war? In Reverie?
Apparently. It doesn't go into details, but it seems the fall of the Oxyon culture set something off across the divide. The aspirations turned on each other. It was quite brutal, it seems.
They never told me.
I guess they didn't want to heap any more pressure on you.
Me?
You. The Oracle. They couldn't find a way to end the conflict, so they created the first Oracle. In turn, the Oracle chose a new heart, and the war ended. Of course, until this week, I thought it was all a metaphor. A parable on trust or something.
And here I was, thinking all copies of that little ditty were destroyed. I'll have to tell Power. It'll send him loopy.
It ends with the aspirations vowing to help Athena in return for the Oracle's aid. Sounds familiar.
I see what you're doing.
Me?
You. Maybe it would do everyone some good. To hear that what we're going through has happened before, and that everything turned out okay.
That's why stories exist, right? Community. A way to share experiences and to shape the collective imagination, to inspire. You coming?
Yeah. Just give me a minute. I think I'm going to go straight to the source on this one. Come on. I know you're there.
Oh, no fair. You cheated. All those powers of yours.
Oracle? Comes with a title. You were listening.
Only a bit. Well, a lot.
Want to tell me about it?
I don't know. The others might get all moody. They don't like talking about it. It's all ancient history this and water under the bridge that. Then again, perhaps a story might not be the worst idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
The stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. And so this is an old Oxyon story that, well, I think it might be just what we all need right now.
Oh, let me tell it. Do go on. I'm ever so good. Pragmatic is my middle name. Not really, of course. It's Suzanne. At first, there was nothing.
At first, there was nothing.
Very nice, good diction. There was nothing for a very long time indeed. And then, there was me. Chaos was born! The first aspiration born from humanity. You see, we're not creators, we're not gods. We're concepts. Your concepts, made real by the collective subconscious. As the first Homo sapiens looked out into the world, all they saw was chaos, unrest, freedom, unlimited possibility. From that possibility came me. I helped them make sense of the world, embrace the limitless, appreciate the boundless potential.
Then I came along. I taught humanity how amazing community could be. How sticking together made everything a little bit nicer, you know? Every time you lot take a new turn, one of us lot is bored.
And for a long time, it was just the two of us, wasn't it, you little gremlin?
That's right. I was the warm fire after a hunt, or a newborn's first squeal.
And I was the growl in the night, the open plain ready to be explored.
And after that, well...
Well, indeed. Things may have gotten a little out of hand.
The aspirations. It began... I cannot say how it began. Several have claimed the title of instigator, but the first blood was drawn between chaos and power.
That doesn't surprise me.
In a sense, it was inevitable. By our very nature, we attract opposition. Chaos desired greater freedom for Reverie, and so they hoped to abolish the heart. Power disagreed. His army lay siege to the labyrinth of chaos.
Army? Power mentioned something about an army before.
With enough egregor, we are able to conjure familiars, or split ourselves into 1,000 willing facets. Power used both. But chaos laid their traps well, and their trickery ate away at power's advance. They say truth is often the first casualty of war. And so it almost was for us. They attempted to break the deadlock, on whose side I cannot recall. And they paid a heavy price. For my own part, I tried to stem the tide of hostility. But no one would listen. Those were dark days indeed.
It was rather horrid. You saw what happened. When you rescued me from that misery pit and removed the heart of Reverie, all hell broke loose. We were all afraid it was only a matter of time until the fighting broke out again.
Reverie and Brittle are mirrors. The state of one affects the other, and in the island of Atina, we found the keystone between the two realms. Was it we who caused the downfall of the Oxyons? Or was it the waning of their culture that forced us to war? Impossible to know. The bond between our realms is not a single strand, but an endless sea of connections.
That whole mess and this one are perfect examples of why we needed an oracle. When you can't rely on causality, at least you can get a second opinion.
Someone to choose the heart. Someone to help shape the direction of Reverie.
Someone to become the heart behind.
Worked out pretty well, I'd say.
Go on then. You've got them in the palm of your what's-it. Don't lose them. Maybe talk about the first oracle. What were they like? Why did they choose who they chose?
Good luck with that. Can't imagine you getting anything worth repeating out of this bunch. Or at least nothing coherent. Everyone's got an opinion.
It's like our story, isn't it? We did our part. Now it's up to you to bring it home.
Oh, it doesn't end! No stories end. They just peter out. Look, I can tell you this much. For every cycle of humanity, each time there's a big old change in your world, a new aspiration is born.
We're well overdue for a new one. Like, really, it's been ages.
You okay? What's going on?
The aspirations have stopped feeding me lines. I don't want to be too historically inaccurate. Can you join me for a bit?
Okay. Well, if you really want to dig into the original meaning of the term oracle, as it applies to the Oxyons, we have to go back to...
Let's keep it simple.
Sorry. Bullet points.
Omar here has studied the Oxyon civilization extensively, and he has some historical perspective to add.
Yes. I suppose the oracles were primarily spiritual beings. They were the locus of Oxyon religious sentiment. But they were driven by their heads, not their hearts. They represented a sort of code of conduct. Do as I say, and as I do.
So they weren't leaders?
Hard to say. The religious institution and the oracles, they were mutually dependent. One couldn't exist without the other, and neither had authority over the other. If there's one thing the Oxyons believed in, it was institutional rule. Kind of like us, really.
Who were the oracles? How did you choose them? Did you even choose at all? What do you want from me? Really? So, nothing's changed, has it? I'll have to figure this out by myself.
Harmony, wait!
Don't call me that!
The truth is, we chose the first oracle out of desperation.
We needed them.
We needed their guidance.
We needed an end to the war. An end we were unable to bring about ourselves.
So, that's all they were? A tool?
Initially, yes.
But then, well, we realized you're all right, you lot. Humanity.
You may not believe this, but it turned out we'd been so obsessed with our own affairs that we'd completely overlooked everything in Brittle.
And so the arrangement became permanent, and the oracles became a guiding hand on the rudder of Reverie.
Not leaders, but advisors.
Major domos.
Producers.
Friends!
But what about me? What do you want from me?
That, I'm afraid, is up to you. What kind of oracle you choose to become is not up to us. It is the very nature of the agreement that you continue as your own person.
Right? Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to be... As the Oracle, I want to be empathetic. As the Oracle, I want to feel what others feel, and consider how others will react. Every decision must be for the benefit of the many, not the few. I will be dedicated to causes greater than myself. Previous oracles were peacemakers, decision makers. I want to look further than that. I want to look at the whole, not the pieces. Guide the aspirations toward the end, not the means.
There were other oracles who took this road, the very first, in fact. They built the sanctuaries, private places, where each aspiration could be separate from the others. Places where we could feel safe, unthreatened. The war did not end immediately, but its intensity lessened as we were given the space for rational thought. It was an idea we could never have conceived of.
But then, how did they end the war?
There was only one possibility. They also had to bring peace to Brittle.
Did I say something funny?
You looked like you were reading from a script, talking about the first oracle.
Oh, I didn't realize, but I don't think any of it was particularly funny. Hey, what's so funny?
Nothing. Sorry. We just...
Honestly, all the history is interesting, but it's not primetime stuff, you know? We want to hear about actions. Real stuff we can work on, stuff that can make a difference. Like, how did this first oracle settle the conflicts in Brittle?
Going by the folks here, the prescients, the Oracle must have been pretty powerful. Definitely powerful enough to stop a war.
The first Oracle split their time between the realms. They learned from the aspirations, but also their fellow humans. This was their skill. Duality of perspective. But to end the war in Brittle, they had to rely on Reverie. They listened to the aspirations, individually and together, and in the end, they gave the Oracle a gift. A way to bring peace to Brittle. Wisdom. The aspirations gave them wisdom. After spending so much time in Reverie, the Oracle inherited more knowledge than any human before them. They were able to see beyond the veil, into pure reason. This wisdom gave them great power. But their vision of Brittle became blurred, unsure.
This was back when Athena was facing its darkest days. There was an ecological disaster. The specifics are lost to time, but we know the population was devastated by vicious storms, which brought floods and mudslides. Then, as they are wont to do, a dictator arose, taking advantage of the pain and suffering to wield absolute power. The people were despondent. The ruling class's own inadequacy provided the perfect distraction. As they lurched from one calamity to the next, the populace grew ever more apathetic. And when there were signs of rebellion, half the populace looked away, or sided against their own interests.
It was up to the Oracle to break this cycle. To break the system that had enslaved the people. So they had to act. They decided. They decided to face the tyrant head-on.
To fight.
It wasn't easy. They faced insurmountable odds. The rebellion became a civil war that stretched for years. So the Oracle decided to... The Oracle decided to try another path. They went to speak with the dictator. They spoke for days, just the two of them. Eventually, they came to an agreement. The ruling class would remain in power. The dictator was to stay. But there would be rules, safeguards, protections for the people. It was a compromise, but the killing was stopped. No one was happy. But everyone got to keep living.
That's pretty much the long and short of it. The histories speak of an uneasy truce and a peace that lasted until, well, now. What's history if not a pep talk from the world? All the wars and death and famine and loss, and yet here you are. You exist, against insurmountable odds. And compromise. That's how we keep existing. Sticking to your guns might seem more, I don't know, worthy. But you know the saying, I, whole world blind, etc., etc.
So who are you gonna choose? You have to choose, right? Which aspiration gets to be the new heart? It's gotta be bliss. I mean, surely. The embodiment of happiness in charge of, fate? Hard to see any other option beating that.
Oh, stop it. That's so nice. I'm almost never chosen to be the heart. Loads of oracles thought happiness was, I don't know, too easy. That there was some greater purpose for the heart, beyond making sure everyone was living their best life. That the heart had to be serious or political. But that's not right, is it? All the tech and politics and systems and life. What's it about if not just being happy?
Even I wasn't expecting that. Look, you know as well as I do that I've made mistakes in the past. But progress is my whole vibe, darling. Reconstruction, rebuilding, forward, forward, forward. Before the whole mess with the egregor, this world had never known such rapid advancement in, well, everything. But I'm always the first to recognize my own shortcomings. Well, second or third, at least. Materialism is part and parcel of my gifts. Glory, the idea of it, does also tend to promote a certain self-centered outlook on life.